Hey guys, it's Destiny and welcome back to my channel. So in today's video I want to show you guys how to build an Instagram web scraper, and this one is going to help us scrape posts from Instagram and automatically download it to our computer for offline use or reposts, and we'll be doing this using Python. So if you're looking forward to enhancing your skills with automation in Python, then this is the perfect video for you. So let's get started. Okay guys, before we go ahead and start working on this video, I want to actually show you what the end product of this video is going to look like. So I have this code over here, and this is the code that's going to help us do everything. Now when I just click on this, and it's going to open up automatically Google Chrome, and just take a close look at what happens. It automatically goes over to Instagram.com website, and it will fill in our username, our password, and click on login automatically. We give this some couple of seconds and it should successfully get us logged in, and as you can see, we are logged in. Now we have this over here that's got save info, and it automatically clicks on lost. Now you can click on save info, whatever you want, and also we have this turn on notification. We also want to get rid of this, so it's gonna automatically click on not now. I think it's resting for like 10 seconds before it does that. So after this, it will automatically type in our username, and that's Destiny Frank _ as you can see, it did that, and it's gonna automatically hit enter on our keyboard, and let's just give it a couple of seconds, and as you can see, it has already done that. So it hits enter, and as you can see, it's got all the posts, scrolls to the last one automatically. Now it's gonna get the first post. It's got the first post. Now it's gonna rest for a couple of seconds, and it's gonna go the second post. Now if you come over to our PyCharm, you can see that we already have the links of all the posts over here. So it already got automatically all the links, and it's gonna get this one, give some seconds, it goes to the next one, and give this couple of seconds again, it should go to the other one. So okay, and as you can see, it's finally got the last one. And now if we go over to our projects folder, so I just want to locate my projects folder for my desktop, and this is it over here, and this is it. So you can see that we have the posts, so it automatically downloads everything to our local PC, and this is exactly what we are going to be building in this course. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and just get started. Now I want to talk to you guys a bit about this program before we go ahead and start building it. So this program will automatically go into Instagram, and it will automatically go to a particular Instagram profile and go to a particular post, or rather let's say it would go to all the posts, and it will automatically download it in our local PC. But firstly, before we do this, we need to firstly get access to log into Instagram, because we need to automatically log into Instagram in order to do this, and we don't have to manually use our mouse, go over to our browser and log in. We want to do this automatically. Then after this, we're gonna get posts. So let me just pull up my reference, and let's just go step by step and see what we're gonna do. So firstly, we're gonna log into Instagram automatically. Then when you log into Instagram, there's this notification that usually pops up to say something like, do you want to save login info? So we're gonna automatically handle that one, and we're gonna turn off the pop-up notification, and after that we're gonna automate the search box, so it automatically imputes an Instagram username or something like that in the search box. We don't have to do anything ourselves, it will automatically type it in itself. Then we want to also handle the scrolling function that's going to help us scroll down our page and all that. So I just want to go ahead and open up Instagram and show this practically. Then finally, we're going to get post link and download to our local PC. So let me just go ahead and open up Instagram, and hopefully you'd understand what I'm trying to do over here. So I'm coming over here, and I want to open up a new incognito mode, and in here let me just get rid of this one so everything looks clean over here. So the first thing I want to do is go ahead and open up Instagram. So I'm going to open up Instagram, and let me advise you, when you try and do this, it's better you use an Instagram account that isn't your main Instagram account, because the Instagram team has this automation software, or let's say like a program that helps detect when their application, or let's say their website, is being automated by an external programming language or something like that. So you get the idea of what I'm saying. So it's better you go ahead and create a dummy Instagram account for this. And in my case, I created a very dummy one, not really useful, just for automation and all that. So I'm gonna just go ahead and log in into this, and I think that should be the correct password. Okay, that's it. So you see, when we log in, let me just go ahead and log out, so you see all that we have to do. So automatically, when we are writing this code, it will automatically come over to Instagram like this. And okay, let's just go back to the Instagram homepage. So it will automatically come over to instagram.com, and it would automatically fill in our username and password just like this. We don't have to do anything, and it would click the login button for us automatically. Give it some time, it logs in, and you see this stuff pops up. So if we don't have any code that's gonna handle this would actually break our program. So write a code that's gonna automatically click save info or not now, whatever. You can just click on save info, and the next one is gonna pop this stuff up. So we just have a program that will say something like not now. Then after that, we're gonna come over here and search for something. So let's say I want to search for, like, just pick up my Instagram account, and this is it over here. So it would automatically search for something over here, and when it search for it and open this up, then it will loop through all those posts. So automatically it will scroll down to the bottom page of this post and get all the links of it. So when it has recognized that all we have here is 4 posts, then it will go into the first one just like this. And in this first one, the first thing it's going to do is take hold of the URL. So take a close look at the URL. You see, we have this URL that says www.instagram.com/p. Then we have the stuff over here. The stuff is called shortcode. So shortcode is just a short code over here that is appended to the URL. So it will get this URL, it will move over to the next post, it will get this URL, it will move over to the next post, it will get this URL also, then it will move over to the final one, it will get this URL. Then when it's done getting all this URL, it will then automatically download it to our local machine. And hopefully you understood what I tried to explain over here. I just tried to explain this so when we start writing down the codes, you don't find anything difficult to understand. So let's just go ahead and open up PyCharm. You can use Visual Studio Code or whatever, but when writing Python codes, I really prefer PyCharm to any other thing. So the next thing I want to show you guys is telling you the application, the library that we're going to use to achieve this. So the posts on Instagram are loaded dynamically. That's one thing I want to say. The posts are loaded dynamically. For example, when you scroll down a post, or let me just go ahead and look for someone that has a whole lot of posts. So you see this dude over here has 1,163 posts. So take notes, this is where it is. But when I come down over here, you see it loading down here. So it loads dynamically as we are loading, and since it's loading dynamically, we won't be able to use Beautiful Soup for this. So Beautiful Soup is able to script static pages but not dynamic pages, meaning that for pages that load dynamically like Facebook, Instagram, and other related programs like that, we have to use a library that's called Selenium, and we'll be using Selenium WebDriver to actually get all this to work. So hopefully you understand what I'm saying. Now, Selenium is a web automation program, so it can actually scroll the Instagram page, and once it has gotten to the bottom of the page, it will know all the contents that are loaded. It will like automatically get all the content that are loaded. Then we'll grab the HTML code, the URL, and do some really nice things with it, and that's nothing more than just downloading it to our PC. So let's go ahead and start working on some things now. It has really taken a whole lot of time, like 7 minutes for the introduction. I hope you don't find this really annoying, but let's go ahead and start working. So the first thing you want to do is open up your command prompt, and we want to install Selenium. So in order to do that, all you have to say is pip install Selenium, just like this. And when you hit enter, I think I already have this installed on my PC, so it will just say something like requirement satisfied, or it's just go ahead and upgrade it. So you can see it says requirement satisfied already. I already have this. So when you have done this, that's pretty much all you want to do. We can just go ahead and close this up. So in order for Selenium to automate Google Chrome, we have to install a Google Chrome WebDriver, like a WebDriver for it. And I'll be using Chrome in this because if you're using something like Mozilla, you want to go ahead and install Gecko driver. So in order to install a web driver, let's just go ahead and type out web driver like that. And as you can see, it says WebDriver documentation for Selenium, but what we need is Chrome WebDriver. So you could just type Chrome WebDriver over here. Let's go ahead and type Chrome WebDriver, and with this now you see we have it over here. So just click on this. If you're on the Mozilla, you want to type something like Gecko driver. I think that should be it, Gecko driver, if I'm not mistaken. So that is over there, Gecko driver for Mozilla. So with this now, you want to install a WebDriver, and take notes, before installing the WebDriver, you want to install the WebDriver that matches the version of your Chrome. And how do you check the version of your Chrome? Open up a new tab, and you want to say Chrome column / version, and when you hit enter on your keyboard, you can see the version of your Chrome over here, 92.0. so that's what you want to download. That means you're going to download this one over here. Just click on it, and it should just open up this page over here. And we are on a Windows. If you're on a Mac, you could go ahead and download this. If you're on a Linux or whatever you are on, I'm on a Windows, so I'm just go ahead and click on this, and I think I already have this on my PC, so there's no need of downloading it again, or we could just leave it. It's just a couple MB, and I think it should be done by now. So when it's done, the next thing you want to do is go ahead and open this up. So I'm just open this up, and using this one over here, you want to just copy this or extract it to your desktop or wherever, but I just love placing it on my desktop, so I'll just leave it over here on my desktop. Now the next thing you want to do is open up your Windows Explorer, and you want to come over to my PC, come over to local to the local disk, and you want to open up Windows. So opening this up, what you want to do is just paste in this Chrome driver in here. So you could just copy, come over here and paste in here, and you could say replace the file in destination. If you have something else already there, I think I already have something there, and I just replaced it. Everything should still work totally fine. So with all this now, I think we are pretty much ready to go, but you should encounter an error if this is not yet in your part. So if this is not in your part, you would definitely encounter an error. So how do we add this to our path variable? So in order to add this to our path variable, what I want to do is come over here, and we're going to just click on this Chrome, and we want to click on this place and copy this. So we copy this right like that, and we want to come over to our Windows button, type in environment variables just like this. So we open up the environment variable, and you want to come over to this environment variable button over here and locate parts. So this is parts, click on it and click on edit. So you click on edit, click on new, and you're just going to paste in what you copied. I think I already have it there, or you could go ahead and add / Chrome driver.exe just like that. And let's see, I think already, okay, that's it. So with this, we should pretty much done with all we're doing. All you need to do is go ahead and click on OK couple times, and OK. So everything should be working totally fine now. So when the download is done, you extract it to your desktop, you take it to your Windows local disk, and finally add it to your environment path variables. So now let's start coding up some things. Okay, what I want to do is go ahead and open up a code editor or an IDE. In my case, I'll be using the PyCharm IDE. I think it's one of the best for writing Python codes. As you can see, I have Visual Studio over here. You can still use it if you want, not still bad. So the first thing we want to do is go ahead and import our library. You remember we downloaded some library in the CMD, like the Selenium. We want to do that, but before we do that, let's just create a new file. So I want to right click on this and create a new Python file, not a HTML file. So I'm creating a new Python file, and I'm going to name this, let's say, Insta Post Scraper, whatever. I think I'm bad at naming things. And with this now, we should be ready to go. So the first thing I want to do is go ahead and import our libraries. So firstly, we're going to say from Selenium, we want to import WebDriver just like that. And also we want to say from Selenium.WebDriver, and I think we need to import, we need to install some other libraries. I think I just forgot about that. We want to open up our CMD again. We need a request, so we need requests. We say pip install requests like that, and I think I already have this, so it will just say requirement satisfied. And we also need time, but time is automatically installed by Python, so we could just say pip install time. Let's say for some reasons you don't have it, just say pip install time, and it should install time for you. I already have it in my PC, so there's no need to worry. So when all this are done imported, and you want to say from selenium.webdriver.common.keys, we want to import keys just like that. So we're going to import keys, and this is going to help us automatically click on buttons on our keyboard, sorry, on the website. I said on our keyboard. Okay, finally we want to go ahead and import time. I told you we already have it there, and want to import url lib.request just like that. And finally we want to import requests that were installed. So this is pretty much all that we need to go ahead and start writing this code. And now let's just dive into writing the code. But I think we are gonna encounter an error here. Let me see what this is showing. So it says unused import statement. Okay, that's because we haven't used anything yet. We are still on track. Let's go ahead and keep working. So the next thing I want to do is go ahead and define a variable, and this is going to be path. So what I want to do now is just link our Chrome driver that we imported. So we're going to say R and want to open up something like that. So we say R, we open up R like that and open up string. Then in it, I want to pass in, you remember we copied, where is it? I think it should be this PC, local disk, and Windows. You remember it's Chrome driver, this Chrome driver over here. So we just want to copy this and come over here, and we want to paste it in here just like that. And we're going to say /Chrome driver.executable. So that's pretty much it. Now the next thing I want to do is go ahead and call a driver variable, and I'm going to set this to webdriver.chrome, then there's not going to be any dots in there. Then I'm going to pass in parts just like that. So with all this now, everything should be working totally fine. So just give me a sec. Let me go ahead and check for something in my reference. Okay, we are getting this error, and that's because it's supposed to be an uppercase C and not a lowercase c. So with this now, everything should be working really fine. Now the next thing I want to do is go ahead and create an instance of Chrome. So to create an instance of Chrome, you want to say driver.get. So we want to say driver.get, and we're going to set this to the Instagram URL. So we want to open up your browser, and let's come over to this place. Firstly, let's just request for Google, and we open this up. This is it over here. So just go ahead and copy this URL. So I'm going to copy this URL, and I'm going to paste it in here just like that. So I paste it in here, and that should be pretty much it. Firstly, let's go ahead and run our program and see if everything works totally fine. So you right click and click on run instapost scraper, and let's see, it should automatically open up a browser, and it should open up Google. So as you can see, everything is working fine now, and it says Chrome is being controlled by automated software. So that's to show that what we have been doing so far is working. So with this now, let's go ahead and start doing the major things that we want to do. So firstly, I want to go ahead and pass in the Instagram website link. So I think this is it over here. Let's just copy this just like that, and instead of Google, we need this Instagram, so we're just gonna paste in that. So when we run this now, it should automatically open up this and go over to instagram.com. So as you can see, this is working totally fine. Let's go ahead and close it. We don't need it now. And I want to close up some of this. I think I don't need any of this any longer. Okay, that should be it. Now the next thing we want to do is go ahead and create a program that's automatically going to help us log into Instagram. So you see it brings us to the Instagram homepage, but not logged in. So in order to do that, what we need to say is first of all define a time.sleep. So why are we using all this time.sleep and all that? And that's because I told you earlier that Instagram has this team that automatically detects when their program or their, let's say, their application, which is Instagram, is being automated by your software. So they have a program that detects that. So with time.sleep, it will actually look like it's a real human that's working on their website, not a bot. So it will take some time before it logs in, take some time before it clicks the login button and all that. So let's go ahead and keep working. So firstly, I want to define a username. So this is gonna store the username for Instagram user, and I want to have driver dot find element by CSS selector. That's what I'm gonna use. So this is over here, find element by CSS selector, and I want to pass in input. Just follow along with what I'm doing. So I'm gonna open up something like this, and I'm passing inputs just like that, and I'm open up I don't know, okay, what should we even call that? That should be like square brackets? Yeah, I think it's square brackets. Then I want to pass in name, and this name is going to be set to username. So this stuff that we are doing now, actually, what are we doing? Do you understand what we are doing? If you don't, let me go ahead and explain what we are doing here. So I think we're gonna get an error because we are using this stuff over here. Let's go ahead and change them to single quotes. So make sure you use a single quotes like that. So what we're trying to do now is get the inputs that has the username function in Instagram's page. So let me go ahead and explain this. I want to come over to instagram.com, and let's just log out from this Instagram. I'm already logged in, so I'm click on log out, and I think you should log out now. So come over here, and I want to click on switch accounts. So you see it has this box over here, this input field that says phone number, username or email, and it has this other one that says password. So I want to go ahead and inspect this and see what it actually has. So in here you see we have this input, and its name, its username. So you see its name, its username. So that's why we are using username over here. We want to automatically get this box over here. So we get this box, we also get this one, and we're going to pass in some things into them. So you see the name is username. Let's also inspect this one and see what we have. So we inspect this. As you can see, the name of this one is, where is the name? I think the name is in over here. Let's see. The type is password. I think it should be type. Yeah, it should be type. No, it should be input name. Let's see. Let me go ahead and inspect this. Okay, as you can see, the name is password over there. This is it. Everything is actually getting rearranged. This is it over here. The name is password, and that's what we're gonna use. So what I want to do is duplicate this with Ctrl D, and I'm gonna change this one to password, just like that, and I'm gonna copy this and replace it with this. So hopefully you understand what's going on here. We have this username variable, and it's gonna get the input field that has the name of username, and this one is gonna get the input field that has the name of username. So this now, let's go ahead and clear out whatever that might be in there at first. So we're gonna say username.clear, and we're gonna say password.clear. So just not that, should be clear. So we're going to use this. Okay, with this now, the next thing we want to do is go ahead and automatically put in a value in there. So we're going to say username dot send keys like this. So automatically we want to put in our username and password, and my username is code tests 4234. I think. Let me go ahead and make sure that is it. Okay, code test 4234. And what is my password? Okay, testing 321. It's a very dummy account. I'm not using it for anything. So the password is testing 321, just like that. And make sure you're creating a dummy account for this, an account that you won't be using for anything important. So with this now, we have our username, we have our password. Now the next thing we want to do is go ahead and actually log in. So we're going to define a variable login, and this is going to be set to driver.findElement by CSS selector. And let's go ahead and inspect the login button and see what's the name is, or actually what the type is. That's what we're looking for. So we inspect this, and as you can see, the type is, let's see, this is the type over here, and it's text. That's not what we need. This is the one we need over here. Let's see, I can't really find anything for it. Okay, as you can see, the type is submit. So that's what we're looking for. We're going to use this type to actually make it work. So we say login variable is equal to driver.find elements by CSS selector, and in here what I'm going to pass in is exactly the same thing that's in here. So I'm going to just copy this to make things more easier for us, and I'm going to change this one over here to type. And before this, I just want to do something. Oh, let's go ahead and just hard code everything so you don't get confused or something like that. So first thing I want to do is open up single quotes like that, and I'm gonna pass in button, and in here you want to open up box brackets. I don't really know why I keep forgetting the name of that, so it's called square brackets. Yeah, square brackets. Then in here I want to pass in type, and this is gonna be submit. You remember that we have submit as the type over there, submit, and you want to make sure that you are using double string like that, because if you use single one you should encounter an error. So we use double string, type is equal to this, and we're gonna pass in submit in there. So submit, just like that. Now the next thing I want to say is dot click. So we wanted to automatically click the login button when it's done. So we wanted to automatically click this login button. So let's go ahead and keep working. So with all this now, let's just go ahead and run our program and see what we have achieved so far. So I want to make sure my internet connection is active, and I want to run this program now. So we run this, and let's give it some time. As you can see, it's opened up a new browser, came over to instagram.com, and hopefully everything should work fine. Let's just give it some seconds, and it's still working. Yeah. Okay, and as you can see, it automatically fills in the username, the password, and it's logging in now. And we successfully logged into Instagram without actually touching our mouse, just by writing some few lines of code. So this is the next error we are getting. It's not actually an error, it's just like a pop-up, and want to fix it. But to me, it's like an error because it's withstanding, like holding us back from what we want to do. So let's just go ahead and work with that. So what I want to say is, let's just say want to save login info, so that when you guys are reading this code, everything would look simple and you would understand every section of the code. So firstly, I want to say time.sleep, and let's just say you want to sleep for 5 sec or something like that. Okay, let's say 10 sec, because it actually takes some time before this pops up. Let's just say 10 sec. Now the next thing I want to do is just define not now. You see, we have not now and we have save info, but I just want to click on not now, so that's why I'm defining the not now variable. And just follow along with what I'm doing. I want to say not now is equal to driver.find elements by expert. So this time around, I'm not finding elements by CSS selector. I want to find elements by expert, and there are a whole lot of ways you can find elements in Python using Selenium. You can find element by CSS selector, expert, tag name, a whole lot of things, class name, ID, link text name, partial, link text, and all that. So now I want to use expert. So with this expert, what I want to find is a particular button. I want to find either the save info button or the not now button. So how we do that is actually pass in some things. So I want to open up double quotes just like that, and in those quotes, firstly I'm going to pass in double slash, and I'll pass in button like that, open up square brackets, and in the square brackets I'm going to pass in contains. Just follow along with what I'm doing. I'm going to pass in contains, and I want to open parentheses, and I'm going to pass in text in there, and it's going to have another parentheses in it. Then I will just come out of the text parentheses and add a comma. So this comma is going to click the not now button. So let's just make sure it is it. So that's it over there, not now button. And let's come back to our post. So not now button, and that should pretty much what we want to do. Then finally we could just say dots click. So with this now, it should automatically click the not now button. Now the next thing I want to do is go ahead and turn off info. So I'll turn off notification. And in order to do this, we want to say time.sleep, and we're going to set this to, let's say 10 sec, yeah, because it takes some time to load up. And I want to say not now too. So you know, this is another not now for the save login info, sorry, for the to turn off the notification. So with this now, I'm just gonna set this to exactly the same thing over here, and I'll just go ahead and copy it, so we then just get slowed down. But what we are doing, so with all this now, I still want to get a button that has contains in it, pass on exactly the same thing, text, and say not click now. So this is pretty much all I need. Now the next thing I'm going to do is go ahead and get for the search box, but before that, let's run our code and make sure everything is working totally fine. So it automatically opens up, and let's just give this couple seconds and see where everything gets to. And it clicks the not now button, and it's finally gonna click this one too. So go ahead and click it, and we are waiting. And as you can see, it clicks that one and everything is gone. So the next thing we want to do is go ahead and access the search box. So we're going to access the search box and search for a particular username. So with all this now, I just want to go over here and let's get this username. It's Destiny Franks underscore, and that's pretty much all I need. So I'm just going to close this up, because we are still going to open it again. Now the next thing I want to do is go ahead and write a very simple code that's going to help us automatically search for something. So just come over here and let's define a comment, and we're going to say search box, just like that. So what I want to say is, first of all, sleep. So time.sleep, so our accounts don't get deleted. So we'll say time.sleep, and we could just pass on 5 in here if you want. This one shouldn't take much time. Just pass on 5 after that. And we want to define a variable search box. So we're going to say search box. You can name it whatever you want, but search box, I think it's closer to what we actually want. So we're going to say search box is equal to driver.findElement by CSS selector. Just exactly the same thing we have been doing. But right now, let me go ahead and log in to Instagram. So I would explain what I want to do. So I'm just going to log in. And let's give this a couple of seconds. It should successfully log in. So as you can see, it logs in, and I think a notification should pop up. Okay, it's not popping up. So we want to automatically get the search box over here, and let's inspect and see what the name is. And I think here it's the name that we're going to use, and the placeholder is search. So we're going to use placeholder for it. It has the name, it's placeholder, so we're going to use search. And as you can see, it's capital SERCH. So that's what we're going to use. Take note of that. So with this now, I want to get back to our code. I'm going to say search box is equal to this exact same thing. We could just go ahead and copy it. So let's just type it down. Driver.findElement by CSS selector. And in here, what we're going to pass is exactly the same thing that we have been doing over here. I think over here. Yeah, over here. So let's just go ahead and copy this. There's nothing different, so we just copy this and we want to pass it in here just like that. But we're going to make some changes, and definitely we're going to make some changes. So we want to change this one over here to placeholder, and we're going to change this to search, just like that. And that's because that's what we have over here. Where is it? This is it over here. We have placeholder and it's search, so that's why we are using the exact same thing over here. So with that now, we want to go ahead and clear the search box. So in case for any reason there was something there, we want to clear it, whatever. And next thing we want to do is go ahead and automatically send keys to there. That's gonna type in something. So we want to say search box dot send keys, like that. Now I want to pass in the Instagram username in here. So let me just go ahead and get it again. Don't know why I keep forgetting that. Just get this and pass it in here, just like that. So with all this now, that's pretty much what we need. Now want to go ahead and sleep. So let's just sleep, because when it should take like sometimes for you to type in the Instagram username and click on search. We don't just want to do that automatically. So we just gonna sleep for like, let's just say 5 sec. Yeah, 5 secs, not so much. So we say time.sleep. I want to sleep for 5 sec, just like that. So the next thing I want to go ahead and do is searchbox.send keys, searchbox.send keys, and the key that I want to press is the enter key. So in order to do that, we just say keys.enter, just like that. Keys.enter, but I think we're having an error, so it should be keys.enter, just like that, and everything should work fine. Okay, the enter is supposed to be in uppercase, not lowercase, and everything should work fine. So the next thing I want to just do is go ahead and sleep. I don't really want the accounts to be deleted, so we could just sleep for another 5 seconds. And finally we want to go ahead and also press the enter key again. So let's just say searchbox.send keys, and I want to press it again. So I'm say keys dot enter, just like that. So I'm gonna press the enter key again. So with all this now, we're almost coming to a conclusion with what we are doing. Okay, with this now, it's gonna automatically input something in the search field. Let's see if this works. So I'm gonna run this. It should take some times, but let's just wait and give it some seconds and see how everything is gonna work out to be. And take notes, you can still reduce your times. For example, let's say I have a 5 seconds time, you could go ahead and change it to 2, whatever you want, but I'm just doing that for your safety's sake, so your account don't get deleted. So let's just give this some couple of seconds. So as you can see, it automatically types in something in there, and it's Destiny Franks, and it's gonna hit enter now. So just take a close look, take a close look, and as you can see, it hits enter, but it hits enter on the one that my mouse is on. So that's actually bad. It hits enter on the one that my mouse is on, just like this. Then it hits enter on it. This one, it hits enter. So that's bad. Okay, I think it's even entered someone else login info. Let's see. Okay, that's what we need. Let's just go ahead and keep working. Now the next thing I want to do is go ahead and define key that's gonna help us scroll. So I'm just gonna say scrolling, just defining a comment over there, and the scrolling is gonna be a very simple JavaScript. That's what we're gonna use, and I already have this code typed down somewhere. I'm just gonna copy and paste it in here. You could go ahead and copy that. I have the code in the description below on GitHub. Just go ahead and download it, but I'll also explain what the code is gonna do. So let me just get the code and I'm gonna put it in here right now. Okay guys, so this is the code and I just put it in here now. So it's simply gonna help us scroll, and it's a very simple JavaScript code. With all this now, the next thing I want to do is go ahead and now get the link of all the posts. So I'm just gonna define a comment, and this should be posts, just like that, or you can name it get post links, whatever you want. So with this now, I want to say post is equal to an empty list, so that's where all the posts would be. For now, let it be an empty list. And finally, I want to say links should be equal to driver, just like that, dot find, okay, dot find element by tag name. Yeah, I think we should use tag name right now. Then the tag name I want to get is a. Now there is a logic over here that you should understand. You know, in basic HTML, HTML link tag. So let me just open something up and let me explain something to you. So this is a link tag. Okay, not a link tag. I think it should be an anchor tag HTML, and you should open this up. Okay, this is what I want. So you know, we did driver.element, driver.find element by tag name, we find it by a. So the tag for the links are a. So you see there is a link or post over here. I just want to go ahead and open up my own account and open up this. So you see this link over here. When you want to inspect this link, you see that it actually has a tag name of a. So let's see if we can inspect. Okay, I don't think we can inspect that. So it's actually have a tag name of a, and this is it over here, a. It's just like the link is going to be passed into here. The tag is going to be a, and this is going to be the attribute. Take note. So this is tag, this is attribute, and that's why we are finding it by tag name. So this means it's going to get all the links of all the posts that's in the profile. Now the next thing I want to go ahead and do is use a for loop and go through all the links that we have gotten. So I'm gonna say for link in links, follow along with what I'm doing. So I said for link in links, I want to do something. I want to say post is equal to, let me just pull up my reference and see what I'm doing. So post is equal to link dot get, so link dot get underscore attributes. So I want to get attribute, and I told you href over here is going to be the attribute of any link tag. So I'm just going to pass in href, or let's just pass it in a single quote so everything works fine. Whatever, double quotes still going to work fine. Now I want to check for p in a post. So I'm going to say if there is p in a post, I'm still going to explain this. So if there is p in posts, p in posts, not posts but posts, just like that. Then what do we want to do? We want to go ahead and append something to posts dot append, and what we're gonna append is I think I went up a couple bits. Then what we're gonna append is posts, just like that. Okay, so I want to explain what this code I wrote over here is gonna do. So you remember we used this to get all the links. So we got all the links that's gonna be in the post. And I said for link in links, if you know Python real well, you should know how to use for loops. So this is a for loop. I'm gonna loop through all the links that I got. And I got this and I used this one over here. And then I said for link in links, I said post should be equal to links dot get attributes. So hopefully you understand what I'm doing. And this shouldn't be links, it should be link. So you might get an error if you go ahead and run this. So correct that. There shouldn't be an S there, it should be just link like that. So post is link dot get attributes href. So I want to get the particular attribute, and you see the attribute of this over here is this link now. So when we get href, that means we are also just getting this link. Take note of what we are doing. So with this now, then I said if there is p in post. So what does this p over here mean? Let's go over to our Instagram website and see some. So you see in this spot over here, take a close look at the URL. You see that we have this p here. We have the /p/. So once there is a p in a post, it means that that is a post. Take note, it just stands for post. So once there is p in a URL, in a link, it means that is a post. So that's what we're going to be doing. So with this now, we got all the links. So if there's p there, then want to append posts, want to append this post that we got to this empty list over here. So that's just what we did. That means we want to append any post that we get to this empty list over here. Then when we do something like print post, then we should get it. So let's just come over here and we're gonna say print posts, just like that. So with this now, I think we are good to get something rolling. Let's just go ahead and run this code and everything should work fine now, apart from the fact that we are not yet downloading. And why does it say this? Let me cancel up this and make sure I'm connected to the internet. Then let's run this again and see. Hope we didn't get an error this time around. Okay, it's working perfectly fine. Still opening up Instagram. So it's imputed something in there and it's gonna search for it. So as you can see, it opens this up. Now it scrolls down to the ending of the page. So what it did, right? Well, I don't have much posts, so it scrolled down really quick, and notice what's gonna happen. It's gonna get all the posts right now. So let's just come over here and let's see. Okay, it says web elements object is not iterable. I think we actually had an error with this links over here. I think we have done something bad. Let's go ahead and see what we have done. Okay guys, and I think this is the error that we are getting. This is supposed to be elements and not elements. So it's supposed to be elements. So when we run this now, everything should work really fine, but I think it takes a whole lot of time before it gets to that process. But take note, this should be S and everything is going to work really fine. But now what I want to do is just go ahead and get the images and the videos. Hopefully you get the idea. So I want to get the images and the videos. Let's go ahead and just put a comment and say images and videos. So right now this is the final phase. So we're going to say download URL. And we're going to set this to empty strings like that. So I want to go ahead and loop through all the posts. So I'm going to say for post in posts, just like that. Then what do I want to do? Just want to close up this terminal. And for post in posts, what I want to do, I want to say driver.get. I want to get posts. So I'm going to get post, just like that. Now the next thing I want to do is go ahead and define a shortcode variable. So you remember what you guys shortcodes are. This is a shortcode. Let's come over to a post, and you see the small code over here. That's CRDLEFSFPR. That's a shortcode. So take a close note of that. That's a shortcode. So with all this now, the next thing I want to do is define a shortcode variable, and I'm going to pass in driver.current URL.split. So I will still explain all this, but for now just follow along with what I'm doing. Split, then there's going to be a / over there, and I'm going to pass in -2. So with all this now, the next thing I want to do is just go ahead and sleep. So I'm going to say time dot sleep, and I want to sleep for, let's just say 7 seconds. You can adjust for your suitability. You can say 2 seconds, but I love my dummy account, whatever. I'm just gonna use 7 seconds. So with all this now, finally I want to say if driver dot find element by CSS selector. So I'm finding element by CSS selector. Okay guys, with this, the next thing we want to do is, before that, let's make sure this is if and not id. So I want to get element by the CSS selector, and in order to do this, what I just need to pass in is image. So I'll explain this now. In Instagram, the photos and videos have image types. If it's an image, it's gonna have an image type of image, and if it's a video, it's gonna have an image type of video, mp4, image, jpg. So that's the image types. So in order to do that now, I'm gonna open up this, and before we do this, I just want to open up, let's say, single quote or double quote, whatever. In between, I'm gonna use single quotes. So I'm gonna open up square bracket, and in the square bracket, I'm gonna pass in style is equal to, and make sure everything is just close to each other. So style is equal to, open up single quote, and I'm gonna pass in objects dash feet, like this, objects dash feet. Then there's gonna be a colon over there, and I'm gonna pass in cover. Then with this cover, there's gonna be a semicolon, just like that. And I think that should be it. Then finally, I'm gonna end off the quotes that I opened up. Okay, with all this now, we're gonna say is not none. So it's not none. So if all this works fine, then I want to go ahead and pass in a download URL in here. It's gonna be equal to driver dot find underscore element by CSS selector. Then in here, I'm gonna have an image, and this image is gonna have a style. So I told you guys earlier that in a CSS file, Instagram has image types and video types, and they're going to be either video or JPG. So we have style in there, and this is going to be set to this exact same thing. Let's just go ahead and copy it and make sure everything is looking good over there. Let's just copy this, and style is equal to this. We just get a hold of this, and there's a quote here that we should get rid of. So we just want to get rid of that quote. It should just be one single quote. That's going to end up things. Now I'm going to paste this in here. So we get download URL is equals to driver.find elements by CSS selector, and we'll pass an image, passing style in square brackets, and so it equals to object dash feet. So take note, object dash feet, then cover. So with all this now, the next thing I want to do is go ahead and define a .get attribute, and in here I'm gonna pass in source, just like that. So everything should work really fine now. So with this now, the next thing I want to do is go ahead and define a URL. If you remember, we imported that at the top. I'm gonna pass this to requests. Just follow along with what I'm doing. .url retrieve. So I want to retrieve a URL, and in here I'm going to pass in download URL, and I'm going to open up a string like that, pass in double curly brackets, then .jpg. So this one is going to be, don't worry, I'm gonna still explain all this to you. So this is gonna be .jpg, and I don't know why this driver is showing an error. We're still gonna fix that, but let's just go ahead and keep doing what we want to do. So I'm gonna say .jpg, then outside here I'm gonna say .format. So it's gonna be out here .format, and the format is gonna be what? It's gonna have short code. Hopefully you understand what's going on. So it's gonna have short code. I'll still explain everything that's going on here, and we are getting this driver error here, and I think let's go ahead and cross check that. Okay, I think we are not supposed to have this. We're supposed to have like let's just get out of this box, and we should end this off with this. Okay, so that's what we are supposed to have, and everything should look good now. So with this, the next thing I want to do is go ahead and define an else statement. So I'm exactly gonna paste this same stuff over here. So we're gonna copy the same stuff and we're gonna paste it in there. What we want to do is go ahead and change up some things. So we want to change this to video over here. So we're gonna say the CSS selector and we're gonna change this to video. And I'll still explain all this, don't freak out. Then I'm gonna change the type to just get rid of all this over here. So I'm gonna get rid of all this long things and we're gonna stick with type should be video dot slash mp4. So the video is going to be in an mp4 format, and I think that should be it. Then there's going to be the source and all this at the back. So this one over here, I think it should be mp4. Hopefully you understand what's going on. jpg to mp4, and finally we should sleep. Let's see, we should sleep for 5 sec. Yeah, 5 sec, and I think we should be done. I think we are gonna encounter an error if we run this now. Firstly, this time should be over here, and this style is supposed to be type. So it's not supposed to be style, it's supposed to be type video. And with all this now, let's go ahead and run our code, and hopefully everything should be working really fine. And if it works fine, I'm gonna explain everything that happens over here. But eventually we get an error, we should go ahead and fix that. So let's run this once more. But before that, I want to close all this instance of Chrome that's already opened up. So I want to close all this, and I'm gonna run this again. And hopefully everything is going to work fine this time around. So let's just give it a couple of seconds. You know, it usually takes a whole lot of time before some real things actually start happening. So I'm going to just bring this over here, and I want to increase this so you actually see some things happening in here too. So it's automatically saved this for us, and it opens up this, and it's going to save it too. And it's going to click the not now or turn on. You could choose whatever you want. And it's gonna pass in the name Destiny Frank _ into the search box and click on enter. So give it a couple of seconds and you should click on enter. So right now it's gonna go ahead and get all the posts one after the other. So you see scroll down. Now what do you notice that's happening in here? See, these links are getting printed out in here. So that's the post itself. And now it's just gonna iterate through each post one after the other. Just go ahead and give it some time. It should iterate. As you can see, it went to the second one. You give it some time. I think the time is gonna be 5 sec. Then it's gonna go to the next one. So just give this a couple seconds, and when it's done, that's when it's gonna go ahead and start downloading the images. So you see it got this one too, and we should give it some time. It should go ahead and get another one. And okay, as you can see, it's got the final last one. So with all this now, I think we should be done. Let's see. It should now go ahead and download all this into our PC. And okay, as you can see, everything is in there already. So with all this now, let's go ahead, and this is it over here. We do not specify a particular place where you should go, but let's go ahead and look at our project folder and see what we've got. So I want to open up my project folders, and I think it's, where is it? Let me see what's the name of it. This is Instagram post scraper. It should be an I. Okay, and as you can see, we successfully downloaded all this to our local PC, and this is it over here. There's this one, and there's this, and I think there is this one finally. So hopefully you understood everything that we did over here, apart from this ones over here that I said I'm gonna explain that I haven't. So let me go ahead and explain all this now. Okay, so firstly we define the download URL and set it to an empty string. So we set download URL to an empty string. Then we iterated through all the posts that we got. We say for post in post, then we got the posts, like each and every one of the posts. We say java.get post. Then we define the short code. So you remember we have this short code over here, I told you. So we use this over here to get just this particular one. So we split it by -2. Take note of what we're doing. Now we're splitting by slash. Now you take note, there is one slash over here, there is one slash over here. So we split by -2, which means we want to get this one. After the first and the second slash, we want to get this one. So that's what we did. Then we rested for 7 seconds. Now over here, what we just did is get the image type. So what we did over here was just say if this is an image, or is not none. So this over here, you don't pull much concentration. This is where you should just pay a whole color of attention to. So we said if driver dot find element by CSS selector is image, style is object dash fit cover. So this over here just says that we got an image. So if it's an image, what do we want to do? We want to get the download URL. So we got the download URL over here, then we got attribute and source. So with this now, what did we do? We went ahead and retrieved the URL and downloaded it. Then finally we checked if it's a video. We did exactly the same thing with for the short code. Then we downloaded it. This is it over here. We downloaded the same thing and we sleep for 5 seconds before we go to the next post. Okay guys, and that's pretty much it for this video. Hopefully you understood all the logic that went into building this. It's a pretty long video, and I'm just gonna be happy if you guys really drop a comment and say something like you understood the video or you liked the video, or if you have any downside to it, just drop it in the comments. Maybe there are some things I did that I wasn't supposed to do, or there are some corrections or contributions, whatever. Everything is totally accepted and fine. So hopefully I'll see you in my next video. Don't forget to drop a like, comment, and consider subscribing, as it will mean the world to me. See you in my next video. Mad love, peace out.